Oh, damn. He needs antibiotics now.
Oh, that's gonna hurt tomorrow. That doesn't happen in the real world of medicine.
I'm a medical expert, and today we're going to take a look at Resident Evil 2. Be sure to like and subscribe for more episodes of Experts React. Oh, that's not good. Oh man, there's some intestines on the ground. That looks pretty real for the intestines. So those are the small intestines that they're trying to portray that are ripped out. And you can see the liver in the right upper quadrant over there, which is good. But they're still missing. There's something called the omentum that goes over top of all that that's missing. And then you're also missing the large intestine. Well, you wouldn't die that fast. The amount of blood that you see here can occur because you rip the aorta and it just pours out.
That looks like it hurts. And yep, that doesn't happen in the real world of medicine.
The skin of the neck gets ripped off with some muscle, but it's got this like taffy look to it, like a string, which doesn't happen. It's gonna just tear off and rip, almost like a meat or a steak that we eat. You don't really have string coming with it. Oh. I don't think that kind of gun would cause the head to explode. There's just not that much blood in the brain to explode that much. Usually it's like a puff of red. It's not a jelly raspberry jam look. They're just liquid zombies. A bullet will go through the front and then it'll expand. It'll have a bigger wound on the exit, but not massive. Typically it goes straight through and there's some bleeding. It all depends if it's a hollowed out bullet versus just a normal bullet. But definitely does not explode like that. But the hole in the anatomy of the skull after a shot looks pretty darn good.
Ooh. I think that guy's dead.
He's got really straight teeth. That's pretty good. Except it doesn't stretch that way. Almost looks like a muscle. It's nice and red and bloody. They're missing some nerves and some tendons. If one side's off, it shouldn't drop like that. It's a little dramatic. Oh, damn. He needs antibiotics now. They're all trying to go for the jugular vein or that carotid artery. But for that amount of blood, he definitely got part of his jugular or the carotid artery opened. That amount of blood coming out of him, he got nicked pretty well. He needs to put some pressure on that, but he's surviving pretty well. What is that? If somebody's on fire like that, you typically suffocate to death before you burn to death, because that fire is taking all the oxygen away because it's fueling the fire and you can't breathe. So you're going to suffocate versus you're not going to necessarily die from the pain and the burns, because the pain is actually going to cause you to have an adrenaline rush. Your heart's going to pump harder, but you're ultimately not going to be able to breathe and then you're just going to die. It goes out on its own. That's pretty amazing.
Oh, that's gonna hurt tomorrow.
It's kind of like a scald burn, like a 2nd degree, maybe 3rd degree parts. So there's multiple different types of acids that can burn our skin. The speed of which it burned this guy is pretty fast, but the issue with the acid, if you don't get it off, it's going to keep doing its job. So it's going to keep kind of burning if it's just sitting there. You can try water. Basically, that's the best thing you can do. There's not really neutralizing agents that are that easy to kind of come by. Maybe the glass had ripped through some of his skin, but those are maybe 2nd, 3rd, and some 4th degree burn, different areas of this guy's face. And this typically won't bleed that much. It'll just kind of melt the tissue away.
All right, so zombie apocalypse. Most zombie stories are based on having like a virus that causes this and everybody spreads. Like rabies. Rabies makes you foam at the mouth and hungry and rabid and crazy. That could happen. There are different blood infections that can cause people to be manic, crazy, lose their brains, but typically their anatomy wouldn't change. Typically a virus won't cause any of this. All I can say is after playing Resident Evil 2 and watching it, I am very happy not living in a world where things are trying to eat me, rip my body apart. the exploding heads and the gelatinous brains a little far-fetched, but
it was entertaining, and I would shoot anything on that game too, man.
Is your cat around?
She's sleeping.
I'm gonna be like, you killed the cat.
Oh yeah, she would kill me. She'd try to. If I tried to touch her, she'd shank me. I'd have to defend myself against her.